Hello dear student, this is Mr. Hitesh Patel, Assistant Professor, LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this video session, we are going to discuss the subject name Basic Mechanical Engineering. And today in this video session, we are going to discuss a topic named Internal Combustion Engine. And in this video session, we are going to discuss the two-stroke petrol engine, two-stroke diesel engine and detailed comparison between two-stroke engine and four-stroke engine. So let's start with the two-stroke SI engine, or we can say that two-stroke petrol engine. SI engine means spark ignition engine. Okay. So let's start. First of all, this engine, how this engine differs from four-stroke engine. So from the name you can easily get idea that in four-stroke engine one cycle is completed in four-stroke, while in two-stroke engine one cycle is completed in two-stroke. The second is in four-stroke engine there are valves used, while in case of two-stroke engine there are ports used. There is no valve inside this type of engine. So what is the difference between valve and port? So valve is operated with the help of cam mechanism. Okay, and here you can see that this is inlet port and this is outlet port, and both this port covers and uncovers with the help of the movement of the piston. When the piston reach at TDC, at that time inlet port and outlet port both are uncovered. When the piston is at BDC, at that time both are covered. So this is the basic difference between valve and port. Okay. So let's start how this two-stroke spark ignition engine works. So in this type of engine there are three ports. The first is inlet port, second is outlet port, and from that side you can see that there is a transfer port. The function of the inlet port is to inlet the petrol and air mixture in case of petrol engine. The function of outlet port is to exhaust the gases outside the cylinder, and the function of the transfer port is to transfer the petrol and air mixture which is inside the crankcase to the top side of the piston. Okay, to transfer the liquid from the crankcase to the top portion of the piston, this transfer port is used. Okay, so let's start. First of all, consider that the piston is at the starting point, the piston is at TDC. TDC means top dead center. Okay, at that time you can see that the inlet port and outlet port will uncover by the piston. So we can see that the inlet and outlet both uncover by the piston. Due to that, the fresh charge will enter inside the crankcase through inlet port. Okay. Now when the piston moves from TDC to BDC, the question is how this piston moves. So at the top you can see that there is a spark plug. When the spark plug ignites the mixture which is already at the top side of the piston, at that time that fresh charge will ignite it and hot burnt gas is produced, and that burnt gases will push the piston in downward direction, and when the piston push in downward direction it travels from TDC to BDC, and there is a starting of the expansion stroke takes place, and when the piston reach at BDC, at that time it covers the inlet port and uncovers the outlet port. Okay, and through outlet port some amount of hot flue gas will reject to the atmosphere, but all the flue gases will not able to reject through the outlet port. Okay, so when the piston reach at BDC, at that time with the help of transfer port some amount of petrol and air mixture will travel to the upward side of the piston. Okay, some amount of petrol and air mixture will travel to the upward side of the piston, and due to that, that fresh charge will push the burnt gases to move outside the engine cylinder through outlet port, and this process is known as scavenging process during two stroke petrol engine. So This is the most important term. So what is scavenging? So when the fresh charge will enter over the top of the piston, at that time that fresh charge will push the burnt gases to move out to the engine cylinder through outlet port. This process is known as scavenging process. Okay. Again, the top of the piston is, you can see that there is a movement, there is some kind of shape that is known as deflector. The fresh charge will sweep out to the remaining burnt gases while passing over the deflector. Okay. And this process of moving out burnt gases that we have already discussed, that is known as scavenging process. Again, piston will travel from BDC to TDC. When piston will travel from BDC to TDC, it uncovers the inlet port, and again there is a fresh charge will enter inside the cylinder and fill the crankcase with the charge or petrol and air mixture, and hence cycle is repeated. So this is the basic of two-stroke engine. Okay. So if you have any queries regarding this two-stroke engine, then you can write down your comment in the comment section. So first of all, what is the main difference between four-stroke engine and two-stroke engine? So in four-stroke engine, one cycle is completed in four piston stroke, while in two-stroke engine, one cycle is completed in two piston stroke. In four-stroke engine, one cycle is completed in two revolution of the crankshaft. As we know that suction stroke, half revolution is completed by the crank. During the compression stroke, half revolution, so total one revolution is completed in case of four stroke. Again expansion stroke, so half revolution is completed, and exhaust stroke, another half revolution, so there is one more stroke is completed. So total two revolution of the crankshaft required for completing one cycle in case of four stroke. While in case of two stroke, piston travel from TDC to BDC, means half rotation is completed. Again piston travels from BDC to TDC, another half rotation is completed. So one cycle is completed in one revolution of the crankshaft. Okay. Here in four stroke, less power is produced for the same cylinder and cylinder dimension and speed. While in case of two stroke engine, more power is produced for the same cylinder dimension and the speed. In four stroke engine, heavier flywheel is required. In two stroke engine, lighter flywheel is required. Four stroke engine occupies more space. Two stroke engine occupies less space. The thermal efficiency of the four stroke engine is higher. The thermal efficiency of the two stroke engine is lower, because we are not able to effectively utilize, we are not able to use effectively the heat energy. Okay. So that's why the thermal efficiency of the two stroke engine is less. But mechanical efficiency of the two stroke engine is higher, and mechanical efficiency of the four stroke engine is lower, because there are more movable equipments in four stroke engine as compared to two stroke engine. The volumetric efficiency of the four stroke engine is high. The volumetric efficiency of the two stroke engine is low. Initial cost of four stroke engine is higher than the two stroke engine. The next one is two stroke compression ignition engine, or we can say that two stroke diesel engine. The operation and working of two stroke diesel engine is 90% same of the two stroke petrol engine. The only difference is that in two stroke petrol engine, petrol and air mixture will enter through the inlet port, while in case of diesel engine, only air will enter inside the inlet port. And the second difference is, in petrol engine spark plug is used, while in case of diesel engine fuel injector is used. Okay. So let's start with the two stroke diesel engine. So in two stroke diesel engine, there are three port: inlet port, outlet port and transfer port. Okay. So let's start. During starting, the piston is at TDC, top dead center. When the piston is at TDC, at that time inlet port will uncover by the piston, so the atmospheric air will enter inside the crankcase. And when the temperature of the air which is at the top of the piston reach at self ignition temperature of the diesel, at that time there is combustion, or so there is a injector inject the diesel in fine atomized particle form, and there is combustion of the fuel takes place. When the combustion of the fuel takes place, at that time the hot flue gas which generated with the by the combustion, the hot flue gas push the piston in downward direction from TDC to BDC. When the piston moves from TDC to BDC, the piston covers the inlet port and uncovers the outlet port, and through outlet port most of the burnt gases will reject to the atmosphere. Okay, but when the piston reach at all flue gas will not able to reject, but when the piston is at BDC, at that time the fresh charge will transfer through the transfer port to the top of the piston. The fresh charge will push the burnt gases outside the engine cylinder through outlet port, and the process of pushing these burnt gases outside the engine cylinder through outlet port is known as scavenging process. Okay. So when the piston during the next stroke piston moves from BDC to TDC, again it covers the inlet port and the rest amount of the air will enter inside the crankcase. Okay, and again the air or fresh charge which is over the head of the piston will get compressed, and again the cycle will be repeated. So this is all about the two-stroke diesel engine. If you have any queries regarding this, then you can write down your comment in the comment section. Thank you for watching my video.